Good morning and welcome to September the 2nd. Excuse me, it's a Thursday morning as you're watching this morning, and we are in Revelation with John Stott. Again this week, just to remind you, we are looking at the heavenly throne room. We're looking at the things that are taking place at the central nexus of everything, and that's the throne room of God. Today, the devotion's entitled Six Seals Are Broken, and the suggested reading is Revelation chapter 6, verses 1 through 16. The lead-in verse, the very first verse of that passage, Revelation 6:1, I watched as the Lamb opened the first of the seven seals. Having celebrated the Lamb's unique authority to open the scroll and having seen him take it from the throne occupant, John now watches as the Lamb breaks the seals one by one. After each of the first four seals is broken, one of the living creatures shouts in a voice like thunder, "Come!" And behold, a horse and its rider appears. These are the famous four horsemen of the apocalypse, well known to Christian artists. Many commentators argue that the first horse, being white, its rider wearing a crown and riding out as a conqueror bent on conquest, verse 2, symbolizes military conflict. But in the book of Revelation, white stands for righteousness. Crowns and conquests belong to Christ, and in chapter 19, the rider on a white horse is definitely Christ. So before the other horsemen spread the horrors of war, famine, and death, Christ rides out first at the head of the cavalcade, resolved to win the nations by the gospel. And he succeeds, judging by the countless multitude of the redeemed in chapter 7. The second horse is fiery red and symbolizes bloodshed. The third is black and symbolizes famine, and the fourth is pale green, symbolizing death. The breaking of the fifth seal reveals the souls of Christian martyrs, quote-unquote, under the altar, or the place of sacrifice, who are appealing for justice, verse 9. Then after the breaking of the sixth seal, there is a great earthquake, followed by the most appalling cosmic convulsions in the sun, moon, stars, sky, and mountains, which are probably not to be interpreted literally, but as social and political upheavals described in familiar apocalyptic imagery. Judgment follows as people of every rank, from kings to slaves, cry to be hidden from the face of God and the wrath of the Lamb. This opening drama of the first six seals gives us a general overview of history between the first and second comings of Christ. It will be a time of violent disturbance and suffering, but the eye of faith will look beyond it to Christ, who is both the crowned and conquering rider on the white horse and the Lamb who breaks the seals, controlling the course of history. Those are powerful thoughts for us to focus on today. With the political climate in our own country, the political climate around the world in reality, with the spread of COVID from border to border, north to south, east to west, we are in turmoil. There is death, there is famine, there is war. I don't believe it's yet on the same level as we see in the book of Revelation, but surely we must be drawing closer. With what's going on in the climate, what's going on in nations, surely we must be near. But do not fear. The Lamb is on the throne. Do not fear. We must, with the eye of faith, look beyond all of this to Christ, who is both the crowned and conquering rider on the white horse and the Lamb who breaks the seals, controlling the course of history. Do not fear. Do not fear. Amen. Blessings to you today.